Since its creation in New York City in August of 1973, hip-hop has given a voice to the youth of every generation. The genre contributed to art, fashion, culture, and politics, and along the way, it's become a worldwide phenomenon. This is how hip-hop went global. One of the first countries outside of the US to embrace hip-hop was the United Kingdom. The early stages of UK rap can be traced back to the 1980s with influences from the already established American scene. Many artists even adopted American accents. Derek B was one of the founding fathers of UK rap. He established himself with top 20 hits like Good Groove and Bad Young Brother in 1988. He eventually signed with Russell Simmons. A Public Enemy feature in 1988 helped him achieve crossover success. In the 1990s, the UK rap scene began focusing on local talent instead of American acts. They developed their own regional spin on the genre. One style, called trip-hop, began bubbling under in Bristol. Notable artists from this era included Tricky and Massive Attack from the Wild Bunch. Once the 2000s hit, the hip-hop scene began to see a rise in grime music. The sound would be cemented by Wiley's What Do You Call It? Soon after this, the earliest form of gangsta or street rap in the UK would make itself known. Road rap is a grittier subgenre. Road rap, with heavy influence from Chicago drill in the early 2010s, would soon evolve into the UK drill making waves today. This genre originated in South London in 2013 between two rival gangs. It has since gained millions of YouTube views for artists like Crepton Conan and R6. From West Coast artists like Cypress Hill to Puerto Rican rapper Vico C, American Latinx artists have been a part of hip-hop scene since its early days. At the same time, hip-hop in Latin America has had its own culture-shifting moments that shape what the genre sounds like today. Though different from American hip-hop, reggaeton has long been closely connected to rap music. The two are often married together in remixes, features, and played in the same DJ sets. Elements of modern reggaeton originated in Panama, with Spanish-speaking natives adopting the music of Jamaican workers in the 1980s. This early sound was originally known as reggae en español. Mellow Man Ace, considered by many to be the godfather of Latin rap, became the first Latinx artist to have a major bilingual hit in 1989 with his song Mentirosa, influenced by New York's The Mean Machine. In the 90s, reggae en español migrated from Panama to Puerto Rico and inspired what we now know as reggaeton, a new genre popularized by artists like Daddy Yankee. Fast forwarding to the 2000s, pockets of underground culture began to inspire subgenres. Narco rap emerged in Mexico and narrates local street culture. In Brazil, the origins of hip-hop date back to the Baile Black, or black parties that played black American music in the 70s. Sindicato Negro, or Black Trade Union in English, from Praca Roosevelt became one of the first hip-hop groups in 1988. That year, the prominent group Rashina MCs established themselves. With their socially conscious lyrics and views on police brutality, it's no surprise the group opened for Public Enemy when they toured in Sao Paulo in the early 90s. Public Enemy also performed at Black Baile in 1991. A couple of years later, in 1994, Sao Paulo established the city's first rap festival, Rap No Vale. In the 2010s, one of the most socially conscious rappers in Brazil was Emicida. He gained popularity online for his lyrics highlighting the history of black people in Brazil. Brazil is not only home to its own hip-hop scenes, but many notable American hip-hop artists have used its picturesque scenery as a backdrop for their music videos. In 2003, Snoop Dogg, Pharrell Williams, and Charlie Wilson filmed their music video, Beautiful, in Rio de Janeiro. From inspiring the Wu-Tang Clan to contemporary K-pop, Asia has had a long connection to hip-hop. The Philippines, which was once a U.S. territory, was one of the earliest places in Asia to establish a hip-hop scene. Hip-hop music performed by musicians of Filipino descent is known locally as Pinoy hip-hop. Unlike most other countries, the origins of hip-hop in South Korea began in the form of dancers performing New Jack Swing. Tiger J.K. of Drunken Tiger formed the influential hip-hop community, the Movement Crew, helping to bring hip-hop to the mainstream music scene. Modern Korean hip-hop can be found in K-pop group rappers like BTS's RM and Suga. In 1993, De La Soul released the song Long Island Wildin' with Japanese artists Shadao Rappar and Takagi Khan. Japanese artist Takashi Murakami has also made his mark in the American hip-hop scene. From designing album covers to collaborating with American producer and artist Pharrell Williams, Murakami is known for bringing artists' work to life with his unique style. In 2019, Def Jam launched a Southeast Asian division to further capitalize on the growing hip-hop scene. The label is currently home to artists from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. Over in mainland China, there's a thriving hip-hop scene despite the current restrictions on the genre. According to Time magazine, the State Administration of Press, Publication, Radio, Film, and Television of the People's Republic of China specifically requires that programs should not feature actors with tattoos or depict hip-hop culture. While much of hip-hop may be banned, there have been thriving pockets of hip-hop culture. Back in 2006, West Chan launched one of the first Chinese hip-hop radio stations/podcasts, and the reality show The Rap of China began airing in 2017. The hit show was a competition to see who will be crowned as the best rapper. It's hosted by veteran MC Hot Dog, Chris Wu, and Will Pan. This is reportedly one of the most expensive reality shows ever made, reaching around 23.7 million pounds. In India, Desi hip-hop has gained traction with artists like rapper Bohemia and group RDB. They've collaborated with hip-hop artists like Snoop Dogg and T-Pain. Like many places, hip-hop gained popularity in Africa in the 1980s. In 1989, Senegalese group Positive Black Soul formed and became one of the first popular hip-hop groups in Africa. As the genre evolved, Ghanaian artist Reggie Rockstone became an early pioneer in the genre hip life in 1984. Hip life is a fusion of traditional Ghanaian music and American hip-hop. During Nelson Mandela's 90th birthday in 2008, Nigerian artist Nice performed Gongo Aso to a crowd of over 40,000 people. In 2010, Cure Greek Crew launched the Yane Mart movement. Yane Mart translates to I'm Fed Up and was a youth movement that led thousands of activists to show up to protest the president's attempt at changing the Constitution. One of the most influential modern artists is Nigerian rapper Wizkid. He has received 3 Billboard Awards, 3 BET Awards, a Grammy, 2 EMAs, and reached billions of streams for his work with artists like Beyonce, Drake, and Justin Bieber. He is also the most awarded artist at the Headies, a Nigerian hip-hop award show that recognizes outstanding achievements. Though most of hip-hop is consumed in America, the second largest market for the genre is France. During the 80s, France aired the popular show Hip Hop that centered around breakdancing and pop locking. The originators on the scene were groups NTM and IM. MC Solar saw major successes in 1991 with his song Bouge de la and became the first French hip-hop artist to go platinum in France. His success continued 3 years later when he received Best Male Singer of the Year at the Victoires de la Musique. In the 2000s, artist Booba's debut album, Tom's Mort, peaked at number 2 and received gold status. Popular rapper Niska's 2017 album, Commando, went diamond and sold over 500,000 copies. Hip-hop further expanded itself with superstar MHD coining the term Afro Trap, a mix of Afro beats and trap. While there was some hip-hop in West Germany in the 1980s, the genre Deutschrap emerged once the country began to reunify in the early 90s. Girl group Tic Tac Toe released their hugely popular Warm. The song would sell over 700,000 units and reached number 1 on the official German charts in 1997. In 1998, the group Beginner saw major success from their album Bamboo, selling 250,000 copies and reaching gold status in 2000. In 2000, MTV began the first Hip Hop Open, an all-day German hip-hop festival in Stuttgart. There are performances from hip-hop legends like LL Cool J, RZA, Cypress Hill, Snoop Dogg, and Wu-Tang Clan, along with many German hip-hop acts. Early hip-hop in Italy was an imitation of American hip-hop. It wasn't until the 1990s and 2000s that the country developed a unique spin. Gali's 2016 song Nina Nana was the first song to debut at number 1 on the Italian charts through streaming alone. And in 2018, he broke the record for the most views for an Italian artist in 24 hours with his video Car Italia. Dutch hip-hop is referred to as nether hop. The genre uses slang unique to the Netherlands. In 2016, Lil Klein's album WAP became the first hip-hop album to reach number 1 on the Dutch Top 100 album charts, with all 11 tracks charting in the top 35 of the single Top 100. While Australia is a long way from the New York origins of hip-hop, many local artists have seen success in the genre. Perhaps the most famous down under hip-hop export is the T.I. co-signed rapper 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐚𝐦𝐨𝐭. The Australian rapper has broken records, had multiple number 1 singles, and won 2 Grammys. The Kid Laroi debuted his mixtape Love at number 1 on the Australia ARIA chart. And the Hilltop Hoods is one of the most successful hip-hop groups out of Australia. Notable albums include The Hard Road, Drinking from the Sun, Walking Under Stars, and The Great Expense. Hip-hop has expanded immensely since its early days. Artists around the world have taken inspiration from icons like Public Enemy and Wu-Tang Clan and put their own spin on it through their experiences and culture. Over the last 50 years, hip-hop's influence has gone global and will only continue to grow and evolve with every generation as different regions leave their unique imprint. The information in this video came from these sources. Check them out to learn more.